49, it tells you his eyes will be red with wine, because he drunk wine. So white woolly hair like sheep's hair, thick woolly hair, and he was dark skinned. Like it said, what?
It says, and his feet like unto fine brass, as if they were burned in a furnace.
Right. So the brass, if your feet is the same color as the rest of your body. Read on.
And his voice as the sound of many waters.
Right, because what I mean, he had extremely powerful, loud voice. That's why he was able to speak to 5,000 people at the same time, and everybody could hear him clearly. Now, when you go into Daniel, Daniel also saw the Lord. In the Old Testament, St. John the Revelator was the only one that saw him. Daniel saw him too, Daniel 10:5. It's the King James Version Bible. See what I'm saying? But
that's the one that people say is like the most.
But we wasn't
tainted though.
Listen, how could
why wouldn't you use the Old Testament as opposed to that?
We using the Old Testament right now.
So wait, what's the new one?
No,
I thought
King James
was the second.
No, King James is just a version. It has both testaments in it.
Oh, okay.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just that the translation was done underneath his authority. Because there's many different kings of England at that time had their own translation. See what I'm saying? In Daniel 10.
The book of Daniel, chapter 10, verse 5. Then I lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a certain man clothed in linen, whose loins were girded with a fine gold of Uphaz.
Hold on, before we continue with that. So we just read Christ's description. The white image that we showed, you can't get that out of that scripture, man. That's what we're trying to say.
But you know what that is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Obviously.
So
that's
we wasn't taught the Bible in slavery, man. We was taught that was corruption. That was a Eurocentric version that you brought up right there.
It's called propaganda.
Yeah, lies, man. But when you read the book for yourself, it's like whoa, that's not. Anyway, read that.
Down verse 6. His body also like the beryl, and his face has the appearance of lightning.
Yeah, beryl is green. So it's giving you the color. I was like, go up.
And lift up my eyes and look, and behold, a certain man clothed in linen, whose loins were girded with a fine gold of Uphaz.
So he had like a golden belt. Yeah. Fine gold of Uphaz. Read on.
His body also was like the beryl.
The beryl is like greenest. The greenest garment he had. Read on.
And his face has the appearance of lightning.
Because the Bible tells you wisdom makes a man's face shine. See what I'm saying?
Is that where this comes from?
Huh?
You know that shit that they put
something like the halo type, like
the illumination.
Yeah.
They just put it in the back instead.
Yeah.
And his eyes as lamps of fire.
Like we read in Revelation, because he drunk wine. His eyes as lamps of fire. Read on.
And his arms and his feet like.
So now it gives you his arms and his feet. Now read on.
Like unto polished brass.
Brass. Brown, man. Read on.
And the voice of his words like the voice of a multitude.
Right, he had a powerful voice. So Daniel expounds how he looked like. That's the Old Testament. In Revelation, that's the New Testament. So it comes to a conclusion that the Son of Man was extremely dark. And he had lamb wool hair. Because why? He was known as a shepherd. See what I'm saying? But anyway, you can show you how the angels look like. In the same Bible. See? Ezekiel 1 and 7.
The book of Ezekiel chapter 1 verse 7.
All that Michelangelo foolishness and naked white men and naked white babies, that's
1 verse 5.
That's nowhere in the Bible. That's style. Yeah.
The book of Ezekiel chapter 1 verse 5. Also of the midst thereof came the likeness of 4 living creatures.
Ezekiel's going into angels. Read on.
And this was their appearance. They had the likeness of a man.
Some of them had their likeness. It was going into their characteristics. Read on.
And everyone had 4 faces.
Some of them had 4 faces. So they make the angels look pretty. A lot of the angels weren't pretty looking.
Right.
That's why when a lot of the prophets saw them, they always had their head down in fear. But anyway, keep reading.
And everyone had 4 wings. And their feet were straight feet. And the sole of their feet was like the sole of a calf's foot.
Read on.
And they sparkled like the color of burnished brass.
Hear that?
Same.
Read it again. Burnished brass. Same way the Lord looked like, it's the same way the angels look like. They're all men of color up there. See that? That's why when we
went in. So if you say they're all men of color, so then what does that mean? Is that where you get into like the white man is is the devil, and on that whole. Is that,
So you familiar with the
get-
Israelites? The white man's the devil.
well, yeah. Well, why? You guys, the Israelites, is the same.
Well, this because that's who we are. That's a biblical name.
No, a lot of people say that though because the Nation of Islam says that too.
Right.
And a few other people,
devil
5%
means
and
deceiver.
all that.
Yeah, he means
we
the
got
deceiver.
and you got other nations too. Other countries say the same thing over in the Middle East because what the white man has done.
Chinese
destroyed it.
say that, white devil.
Yeah, because he destroyed.
But you know what? You know what I always say when it comes to that though is that
But you're not. If you are Irish, if you fully Irish, you go back
it's a
to
different
the
it's a different thing.
Yeah.
Because and you know Irie was a Spanish king actually.
Really?
Yeah, he's a guy from Spain that's was thrown about it. So
Oh, okay.
because what happens when it comes to white people like that is you have Irish people come from the Gauls, and the Gauls were like the French, the Irish, and the Spanish. They're like their own thing. And then you have the English and the Germans, they're cousins. And actually, the guy that's the husband of the queen right now, he's German. And
The Germans are the top
his
devils,
uncle
yeah.
actually put him back. He actually made them get together because he was trying to get his family back into the royal family because when they had World War I, they got disgraced.
Right,
There's a lot of games over there. And then all the other white people, they're all kind of on their own little, like all the northern ones.
Yeah, because the reason why the Irish, a lot of them were discriminated, no Irish allowed, because they fell underneath the curses. You see what I'm saying? Because, like we said, it was originally black men that ruled those areas, and then laid down with women of the other nations. That's why you come out looking the way you look. Same thing when we went into the story of the Sicilians. That's why the rest of the Italians know they look at them a certain way because they know where they go back to.
They know what it is. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
That's its own little island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? What else was I saying?
To me, that kind of stuff, like,
That's what you gotta go. You gotta get to the bloodline of but our people are scattered. At the end of the day, you all gonna have some of our people that's gonna look like you. Because I mean, with this, if you have a